everybody. Welcome back to Global Sports Network this Friday. October is in the air, guys. We're looking at the postseason for the Astros. And this weekend, of course, the joining of all the brains, which are or have been the Houston Texans. John.
Yes.
What do you think? What are we looking at?
I think the Texans are in trouble, Chris. Even though you got the COVID going on in Minnesota, I heard they're practicing this morning. They're still going to have a problem with Minnesota, if not lose the game. A lot of people are predicting that too, that they still lose, even though Minnesota's workout because of the COVID has been, limited. Like a lot of people, Minnesota and.
They don't need a lot, John, because very basically, Dom Capers in 2002 was the opening head coach for the Houston Texans franchise, and then you had Gary Kubiak, who also took over after that and was also their coach. So they've got it down, coach. So they've got it down.
They're going to have all three coaches on the field, hopefully this Sunday if it all goes through, which it should. It looks like that's going to work. There was a couple more cases coming down, COVID.
Right.
With
I think 2 more cases with the Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans, 2 or 3 more cases. So they're having big problems there, and that might affect everybody's schedule more. So, but at least, we'll see. It could be the start of the end.
The next week we have the Jaguars in town, and then we go to Tennessee.
The Jags.
So we'll see how that affects. That week.
I'd like to see us get through this Minnesota game. And I'll tell you, 0-3, Bill O'Brien, I think he's feeling the pressure. There's no doubt. Minnesota, their defense hasn't been that good lately, but they do have a big running game, and our big problem is to stop the run. So, unless we can contain the edges and stop their running game, they might be running all over us, which means more time of possession with the football.
Right.
Minnesota and the Texans are the 2 worst teams in the league as far as possession of the football. So I think they're going to figure out a way to split that this week.
John, you know how they say, John, one's scared and the other one's afraid. They're both 0-3. Somebody has to win. Guys, I think that even though we're giving the Texans a 50-50 chance, I'll give you the points or the clue on how they might be able to win, John, and why I think they'll have maybe a little bit more 50-50 chance to win. For those fans that want to hear the positive end, and I went over that with you last week, I'll let you know what those positives are.
Good.
Of course, and then of course I'll bring you back to reality and tell you what's going to make them lose.
I wish we were talking Astros here. That'd be a lot more. But that's
okay.
We can finish up with the
and of course the NBA.
The NBA.
Lakers are up 1-0. Kind of guessed that one in the NBA Finals. John, number one, reason why the Texans might win this one is you're going to have all representatives of the coaches, previous coaches of the Houston Texans. 2, you're playing at home. 3, you're going to have fans in the stands. So those are 3 good reasons why they might be able to win. And 4, they're playing an 0-3 team also. Those are the reasons why they might win. Right?
Yeah, but Minnesota was a playoff team last year. They're still probably a playoff team. Well, not anymore, actually.
Well, but John, they only lost by 1 point. What you saw on the scoreboard does not reflect their play, John.
They actually have been playing better than us as far as their matchups.
Definitely.
They're playing good ball.
They're playing very good ball, John. And if they're not able to contain the running back for the Vikings, then I think it's
going to be tough.
Right. Okay, well then Kirk Cousins will have a field day.
Well, it's a good day for Kirk Cousins because he has the worst record. I was listening this morning. The worst record on Monday nights. He's like 0-9 on Monday nights. So whenever the pressure's on, not only during the season but during the playoffs or anything, he doesn't turn it on. But during the season, when there's non-pressure and it doesn't mean a whole lot, like we're playing Sunday at noon, everybody's playing. So he'll probably have a good game, which is really bad for the Texans if that happens. And I don't know. I think Gary Kubiak is going to be able to scheme really well against this defense and just kind of keep possession of the ball between the running game and the pass game. They do what we don't do. They do good RPO, and they do good. Gary likes to line up with the same offense, so you never know what's coming. It's not like lining up different, and then you show him one look and you give him another look. Here, he's just lining up with the same
offense. Whether you run or pass, he gives you the same look.
Whether it's run or pass, it's the same look, so you can't guess it. Just like last week, The problem with the Texans is the Steelers in the second half knew exactly what they were doing. It's like they had their playbook.
Right.
They were running the linebackers. They were filling the boxes, and it's a joke. The Texans weren't able again to make any adjustments once the adjustments had been made on the other side to counter. And it's just it's hard to watch.
Yeah, they'll have a hard time. The defense will against the Vikings, very basically for the reason that they're going to run very, very similar to what the Pittsburgh offense ran, which is you're looking at counters, you're looking at sweeps, guys, and you're looking up in the middle when they do the zone blocking. You'll have it right inside the middle and drop it up between A gap and B gap, and that's going to kill the Texans, John. And once that gets going, then you're going to get the throws down the field by Kirk Cousins. I'm not a big fan of this guy, but he's not the worst quarterback and he's not the best quarterback. But against the Texans right now, anybody is a good quarterback.
Wait a minute! I thought you were picking the Minnesota.
No.
I thought you were picking the Texans.
No, I was giving you the points of why they should win.
Okay.
And now I'm kind of giving you the points why.
So you think the Texans?
Minnesota still has a great chance of winning this. I still think Minnesota will win this game.
Minnesota. Okay, you do think Minnesota? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like I said,
I'd like to be proven wrong, but really, the big thing to me, Chris, and I think to everybody,
it's going to be a
out there
good
that's
game. It's going to be close,
Texans,
John.
it doesn't matter whether it's close or not close. It's how are they playing the game. I'm sick and tired, Chris, of watching the Texans play an offense that is dead. It's vanilla, and it has the capabilities of being one of the best offenses in the NFL, and it's not even close. It's a train wreck. So, you got all these wide receivers, and even the way they're scheming, Chris,
Right.
Nobody's getting open the way that they should. They did a little stat survey about how far receivers get into the, free
Right.
space away from the people covering them. And DeAndre Hopkins was way behind our guys, Cobb and, our receivers. You know what? Guess what? This year, it's just the opposite. So is the Cardinals, they're scheming better to get Andre Hopkins more open than he's ever been in his whole career. Figure that one out.
Right. And one of those things, of course, I'm telling you, I heard this morning also, and I know you've heard it also, but Will Fuller is not really giving us the best that he has, John. And apparently, supposedly, it may have been he may have had some hamstring issues, and he's going into this without practicing.
Yeah, he
yesterday.
does. Yeah,
So,
they helped him out.
Don't
the
look
other
for
day.
too much out of him tomorrow. I really don't see that he's going to be a big factor. In the last few games, the last 3 games, he hasn't been a factor, even though he's caught the ball, John.
Yeah, I don't understand why Stills isn't Kevin Stills. More
Stills,
involved.
right.
That guy can play. He's got speed. We got speed all around there, dude. They're just not scheming correctly, Chris. So that's what I'm talking about.
And I know you said you're disappointed, John, but what I'm disappointed are the answers from the head coach, the answers from the defensive coach.
Now we're talking.
And I'm disappointed with the answers once they're being asked why. That Deshaun Watson himself is saying, well, we're going with what's working, and I'm spreading the ball out, and I'm trying to spread the ball out. And he sounds just like that. He sounds very dejected, folks.
Yeah, he does.
And that can only be because someone is on his collar.
Sucking the air out of him.
That is correct. You got to let the guy come up and breathe. And I think that's horrible that an offensive coach or offensive system is doing that to someone.
I mean, it's
as
crazy. This
talented as
guy
he
has
is.
legs, man. They're not even. He didn't do a design run play at all against Pittsburgh. How do you do that? You're taking away by and Pittsburgh was not expecting it. They didn't have to play for it.
Right.
They didn't have somebody watching Deshaun White because he wasn't going to run. That's ridiculous. You're like, it's like if you play tennis, Chris, and you win from the net. And somebody tells me, well, you know what? You got to stand. Don't go to the net. Stay on the baseline and play the ball.
Right.
Well, I don't win like that. That's not me. I'm going to lose a lot of
That's
matches.
not how
That's
you
what's
play.
happening with
Correct.
Deshaun right now. He's losing a lot of games because he can't put his best game forward. And his best game isn't handing the ball off and watching some guy run with it. And it's not staying in the pocket and avoid disaster. All you guys coming at you like hornets, It's crazy.
I'm still a fan for let the guy play, let him loose, let's see what he can do. The offensive system, the scheme is not going to allow that. And in saying that, you're basically saying Bill O'Brien will not allow that, will not. Then why do you have the guy? Let him go somewhere else where he's going to be productive. Please, Bill
Yeah.
O'Brien.
Well, we're
let
not
him go.
alone here, Chris. That's a,
Right,
there's a
right.
long story to all that.
I know, right? And we
You
don't
know,
we don't have all day. We don't
Yeah.
have 4 shows to talk about. Yeah.
but it's a
But-
big telling point. If they don't win this game,
Well, it was
what
big,
kind of pressure is going to be on Bill O'Brien?
Coach. It was a big.
Oh.
It was big pressure and big news when Tuesday we're gonna sign another safety, and we all know about Earl Thomas. We all know what
Did you
happened
really
this week.
think now, Chris? You did. We were together, got the news,
Right.
reporting news.
We're actually
Chris
doing another
Fernandez
show.
did ticker,
Right.
ticker tape, and he said no, they're going to sign it. And I kind of believed him, but it goes so far against
I said
Chris.
they
It
should
goes
sign
so
him
far
today
against.
because he was here today. That day we were on the show. I
Yeah,
said
but
he
you
is
know
here
what
today.
happened? I got a feeling what happened, Chris. He came in, and with a guy like that, he's got a lot of problems off the court. You know, he got caught with his girlfriend and his brother and this and that. He's got a lot of stuff going on, plus probably sources say it's a drinking problem, you know.
Right.
Now, if you go to a team that has a lot of problems and you got a drinking problem, you're probably going to drink more. I mean, I have a drinking problem now because of the Texans. So, he's
I'm
gonna,
sure a lot of fans do.
so you're
in
not
the-
blaming it on
not-
the Texans,
right?
okay?
Not in the
It
fan type
wouldn't
of
happen
way,
if they
but-
were playing good ball. I'd be fine, you know. But
Right.
now, drinking problem, Chris.
Guys, don't take it that far. This is just a game. Okay.
All right. So-
Well, we talked about it already last week. You know, I said the scores won't be 28-21. Pittsburgh, John,
Yeah.
I hit it on the head. Say it. I
he
wanna hear
did.
it.
He nailed it.
I nailed it. That is
Did
correct.
nail it.
And
Oh.
my prognosis for this game doesn't get any better. Actually, it does. It gets us closer. But I'm more interested not so much in the win, but how they won. And I just don't see the chemistry there, John. I can wish it all day till the cows
Right.
come home.
That's what I'm
But
talking
if
about.
there's no chemistry, you don't have an offense. You don't know who's coming, when they're coming, who's blocking who, because that's what I see. You have to trust the guy next to you that he is going to pick up the right guy.
Yeah.
And so far, I don't see that chemistry on the offensive line,
No,
John.
it's not there.
So-
They're not picking up easy blocks, and a lot of people are talking about it. If you read anybody that knows a lot about the offensive line, you know, Nick Martin. We signed a big contract to Nick Martin. Nick Martin's not helping his guard out. He's got Fulton, I believe, in
Fulton,
trouble.
yes.
And he's not covering. You know, if I'm playing line and I know you're new or you're having problems, I'm going to look out for you. That's his job. That's why he gets paid the big dollars to be the big daddy there. You know, him and these guys need to take over the line and know where it's weak and fix that amongst themselves. If they're not, then it's on them, Chris.
Right.
It's
And
on them.
I know that the offensive line hasn't, you know, done many mistakes, but one mistake, you know, jumping off sides in a very critical 4th down or 3rd down, or you're going in field goal range, really takes you out of there. And those are the kind of little things that don't make it a cohesive game, John. Doesn't make it.
We really haven't made those. We made those mistakes a lot last year, jumping off sides, Chris. But
Right.
the big mistake this year is not knowing who to block. They're both blocking one guy, and one guy runs right straight at Deshaun Watson, doesn't even get touched.
Or at the angle, John.
Yeah, or at the angle. I think we're going to take a little break here.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, everybody. Looks like we're going at break, and we should be right back, John.
Yeah,
with
we'll be
Global
right back
Sports
at the
Network.
Edge Network Radio.
That is correct.
We've been out of control since we got hit back in March 2020. Mortality rates keep climbing. Infection rates go up and down and then back up again. How long will this go on? No clear answer. Will a vaccine even be effective as this virus continues to spread and to mutate? No clear answers there either. I'm a trained nutritionist, herbologist, personal trainer, behavior modification and stress sciences expert. I'm also a COVID-19 and pneumonia survivor. I've watched the continuous wall-to-wall news coverage, and while yes, wearing a mask and social distancing are crucial now, you're not being given important tools that you need in order to fortify your first line of defense, your best line of defense, which is your own immune system. What's going on here? There are simple, affordable, and natural ways to help build your immune system to fight any virus or bacteria now, and it starts inside of you. That's why I need to invite you to join me for Beyond the Mask, an intimate talk about vital ways to immediately begin boosting your immune system. Are you worried about the potentials of a second wave? Are you concerned now that your immune system may not be strong enough? Let me show you now the changes that will allow you to optimize it. Let me show you how to maximize your exercise benefits in a 12-minute routine that you'll do every other day to easily increase your metabolism, strengthen your respiratory and immune systems, and give you better circulation throughout your body. Listen, sugar feeds both bacteria and viruses. Let me show you ways to kick that sugar addiction now and to get some weight off. Let me share with you keys to better nutrition that boosts your immune system. We are all under too much stress, and stress weakens your immune system. It single-handedly leaves you vulnerable to all kinds of health issues and infections because stress reduces your immune cell numbers and their ability to function. Let me show you tools that you'll easily integrate into your daily life now to naturally reduce your stress cortisol response. I also want you to know about some nutritional supplements that have been shown to naturally improve your immune system and your overall health. Since January, there have been over 700 studies released worldwide on the relationship between COVID-19 and vitamin D3 deficiency. You need to know why. You want to improve your own immune defenses now? Want to take back your control? Sign up today for Beyond the Mask and join me as I give you information and tools to easily get you back on track towards a healthier overall immune system now.
Hey, welcome back, Global Sports Network. We're here this Friday, beautiful day. John, a lot of sports to talk about. Talking about the Texans, John, and who do you think is going to win?
Well, not the Texans. I'd like to see it if they do it the right way, Chris. This is what I'm talking about. You say, well, they got to win this game. If they win this game ugly like they've been playing, and I don't see the defense operating on a higher level, and the offense still doing the same thing but winning, it's useless, Chris.
Yeah.
I'd rather see them lose. If that happens, because then they're going to play the whole year like this. Deshaun Watson not running the ball, not making defenses worry about his legs, which is ridiculous. So if I see that again, it's almost like the Astros have given us a spark again. They won their first game,
yes.
But and it was hard this year to even watch the Astros.
Right.
It was hard. It wasn't fun anymore. I mean, even though the pitching was good at times, we're used to watching games and I watch them win and have fun, and they did a lot of losing. They went into the playoffs with a losing record. They lost 7 out of 8 at one point.
Oh wow!
Or 6 out of 7, something like that.
Somebody's got to win.
And they weren't closing it out. So the Texans, they're not fun to watch, and I think that's really what's aggravating everybody in Houston is watching a team that has so much potential, a quarterback that has so much potential, and not utilizing his talents, his legs. The way he plays best. You roll him out, fake a handoff and take it, roll out with it. I think Deshaun Watson, he's going to get hurt in the pocket. He's not going to get hurt if he's less likely to get hurt. If he rolls out, at least he can see what's coming. And he has that innate ability to dodge big hits. But when you're in the pocket and you got guys coming from the back and the side, he doesn't have eyes all the way around his head, even though he does.
That's going to be a big
It's just a bigger danger to really get hurt. One guy takes you down, another guy takes you the other way. That's how you break things.
That's how you break
things.
And
they're sitting him in the pocket. He's not that pocket passer,
John,
never will be.
And when that happens, you must calculate. You must think about the quarterback's longevity. How much longer will he take these hits? How many more months, weeks, years?
It could be one play next week. Yeah, it could be one play.
At what point do you think, John, that something's going to happen with Bill O'Brien? At what loss?
Yeah.
Number 8, number 5, number 7.
I like this one. Heard Lopez talking about it, and so I got to give him credit here. And he picked. Everybody's given Deshaun a hard time for not getting rid of the football. Correct, Chris? So he doesn't get rid of the football. Now let's think back. Like I said, John Lopez came up with it, and I like this. when he's made his best plays, if we were to name his 3 best plays, what happened? Why did he make those plays happen?
Yeah, people running after him.
Because he hung on to the football.
Right.
So everybody's saying get rid of the football. Well, he's made his best plays when he hangs on to the football. So you can't tell him to get rid of the football now.
I think with him it doesn't work. It works with the pocket quarterback like Matt Schaub.
There you go.
If he's sitting in the pocket and he's doing this, because this is what Matt Schaub used to do, and you're doing this,
Yeah.
and you're at 3 seconds, and here comes the defense, and you're not looking, you haven't found anyone,
Right.
then yeah, get rid of the ball. But Deshaun Watson is not a pocket quarterback. His job or his innate ability is to scramble and get out there and throw on the run, John. That's what he does. It's where he feels comfortable
Throw or run.
the best.
Then the
Right.
backs don't know to come forward or go back.
The only problem
kinda
is we
get
don't
stuck.
have the offensive line rolling with him, so that's where he gets hit, John.
Yeah.
And we don't have that right now. We don't have the cohesiveness. We don't have the continuity.
Yeah.
We don't have the chemistry in the offensive line
Yep.
for Deshaun Watson to go and do what he has to do, to make his game a healthy game.
Chris,
And that's what gets us in trouble, John.
The Texans are known for having one of the most complicated offenses in the NFL. Even though we went through all those quarterbacks and everything, you come in, whatever Bill O'Brien, it's very complicated. It's a well-known fact, right?
Right.
So we have a complicated offense and we have a vanilla delivery, vanilla performance.
Right. Delivery, correct.
Very vanilla what you do, but you know what? It's all complicated to be vanilla. Oh my, OMG. You know, how do you, let's make it all complicated, but what we do is very simple. If you're complicated,
it's very complicated to get to.
At least be sophisticated with what you produce on the field.
And one of the pluses, I guess, for this week and Sunday kickoff is at 12. Duke Johnson's coming back. We'll have at least another mini dimension to the running game. We'll see how that goes.
That's
John.
confirmed.
It's confirmed that he's coming back.
Duke's
yeah.
going to be in there.
They're
I don't know.
gonna
I was
be in
listening
there.
to Bill
Yep.
O'Brien on the way
Confirmed.
over here. He didn't totally confirm it, but
Well, that's
all right. That'd be good.
we'll find out. Right now, so far, I'm 98% correct on what I've told you.
You
John.
know how
So-
he is. Bill O'Brien's always
Yeah.
going to
No, I
keep
didn't.
you guessing.
I didn't know. I didn't hear
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
about Bill O'Brien. I heard.
Well,
that
you were here on
Duke
time.
Johnson
I
will be
was
there.
late, so I was
Right.
listening. I was able
Right,
to
right. So then,
hear
I
Bill
believe
O'Brien.
if he does play a little bit, I think we should get more than 57 yards. We might get something around $100. I wish it was $100.
I want $100.
100 yards between the two runners. That would be great. It'd be some kind of a balance.
If we did that, I think we're winning the game, huh? And
I
then
still-
we
I still
hold
see
their
Right. I still see the issue
running
being
back
passing.
to about 60 yards.
Don, I still see the issue being passing and finding the open man deep or something to that effect.
Right.
And you notice, well, we don't, that we have, and you brought it out, that the defense, the Texans defense, or secondary has not allowed a very deep pass or scoring or vast scoring. But, when the offensive ball control from the other team is working and they're running the ball down your throat, then they don't have to pass, John.
They don't
They're
have
not
to
gonna,
pass. That's what could happen in
they've
this
been
game
getting
with
killed.
Minnesota.
That is correct.
And I'm really worried with Kubiak. I think
Oh, yeah.
he's what, 5 times the offensive mind of Bill O'Brien
what we got.
or
That is
Tim
correct.
Kelly.
And he already
so-
has, John. He has already a Super Bowl under him.
And they're running. He sure does. 2 years after he left us, him and Wade
This
Phillips.
is the advice I give any professional baseball, football, basketball, or soccer player here in Houston. You want to go to the big league, to the big game, to the big show, leave Houston. You'll go and play in Super Bowl and a World Series somewhere else. You're not going to make it here. It's not going to happen. I know you see that, especially with the Astros. Oh, yeah, Chris, we're going to. Again, going to a final, going to a World Series is not the same as winning it, John.
Right.
That is what counts.
Jerry did
Not
it.
who came in second, but who won.
Right. There's a certain confidence that goes with that, Chris, that, yeah, you can't,
I
you
exude
can't,
that confidence, John.
yeah, it's an overriding confidence and know-how and being there, done that. And we can switch over to the Astros
Sure,
now
sure.
and talk about.
Yeah, well, let's go back to the Astros.
You want to
Keep
do that?
Flip-flopping.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So-
basically, I think, the Astros, I was wrong. I said, well, it'll be one and done, and that's it. It's over. But because of COVID and the season and everything that's happened. But John, really, they did a good job. a lot of the good job or great job has been to the pitching core, John, and
Right.
the bullpen.
The
of
rookie
course,
pitching
give
core,
that
the
a
new
lot of
guys.
credit to the coaching in pitcher's coach.
Well,
Right, John?
Verlander
Maldonado?
went through his surgery yesterday.
Oh,
So
wow,
he did the
yeah.
Tommy John yesterday. You know, he'll be back in 2022. I don't know if it'll be with the Astros.
It might not be, John.
Yeah, it might not be. Most likely he won't be. But I don't know why. I mean, he likes Houston. There's a possibility, you know. I mean, what's he going to be worth? He's almost 40 years old,
Right.
coming off of Tommy John surgery. If he likes Houston, likes being here, you know, maybe he doesn't need the big money, and we can, you know, see what it's like. And then I was listening to people talk, well, our young guys are doing good, and and you know, we don't need them. BS.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
When you can have a guy like Verlander, unless you don't operate like that. I'm a coach, you know, boxing, tennis, I played football, baseball, and basically I'm a coach. And you call me coach all the time. If I got a guy like Verlander, let's say he comes out in 2022, if he can take a contract we can work with, to have him around those younger guys,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
that would be worth the contract. Besides that, he's going to get some wins for us. Even if he's average compared to how he was great, you're going to get wins. But to have him mentoring these younger guys, I don't see why you would let him go
John,
unless the
like-
price
like-
was too big.
In the final, you know, years and weeks and months of, you know, Nolan Ryan and Scott and Deshays and all them, I could only think of one thing, which was, you know, let's get the younger players, the younger baseball pitchers to play a little bit more, and I would save my Stallions. You know, I would save them for the very, very end when what they needed was, you know, durability, being there, having the experience, and then that's when I would use them to win the games, almost backwards of what a pitcher's core is. Instead of waiting for the young guy to come in and close it and win it,
Right.
it would be backwards because very basically, if you're in a seven game
Yeah.
series,
Right.
it'll kill you if you're an older fella.
Right.
So in this case, I would save them for the very
Save 'em
end. The
for the end.
thoroughbred, I would save for the very, very end. That is
Well, when
what I
you're-
would do.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he'll
Like-
give it a shot. Anybody out there need a pitching coach? And
I was actually a batting coach.
batting coach. Yeah.
Yeah, $10 an hour.
Well, Dusty Baker, talk about batting coaches and coaches. Dusty Baker's doing a real good job. A whole nother philosophy from, you know, our old coach.
Right.
He did a lot of statistical stuff, and psychology major he was, and he did a great job except for his last decision last year, which
Right.
you know we're outs away from becoming, you know,
Right.
an inning, unbelievable. And I think Cole really took that to heart. You know, if they just
Right.
put Cole in,
Yeah, and
but
that's kinda
somehow
why
he
he
had
left,
he
yeah.
overthink it, and you know, went with the guy that he felt good with. Where you know you have at that time, and then early this season, and now he's back again. Cole has it, the man with the magic arm and the magic everything. I don't know why, you know, what made him decide, but I'm sure he has thoughts about that, and he'll hear it the rest of the
Well, John, the
Have to
Astros
live
are
with that
facing the A's, and the Astros have always been a thorn at their side, John.
Well, this year they are. Yes.
Right. We're going to see if maybe come Monday, see if maybe the A's, the young A's, are able to throw off the Astros and maybe take game one, John.
Really? Yeah.
We'll
So
see.
you think so? Who?
Well, so far since 2006, since its inception into the league, John, Major League Baseball, wild card, the A's have always been blocked and always been kicked out, and just really short of actually going to the first round of the playoffs. But finally winning the first round and getting to meet the Astros, their foes, if you will, their nemesis, if you will. So we'll see if that does happen.
Right. Well, is Greinke starting game one? Do you know who?
That I
Sitting
do
here
not, but
looking it
I
up,
believe
who-
that's what I was just going to go
Greinke
over
or
with
who's
you.
pitching
We're going to
for
go
us?
ahead and go over. I think that they do the Greinke first and Lance second, and then someone else third, or coalition of pitchers,
Yeah.
just to save Greinke's arm for Game 5.
So that
if there
game,
is Game 5.
that game's on Monday.
That is on
So I don't
Monday.
think they
That
put
is
out
correct.
the lineup.
No, there's no
officially
lineup,
until
and there's
Sunday.
no announcement on the time
Yeah.
either, John.
So
that's
I'm
to be
sitting here, I was
announced.
looking to see if Greinke or who they had
No,
confirmed.
it's a-
Sometimes they do. They tell you who's pitching.
Right. It's a to be announced, John. So right
Right.
now we don't know the time. or we don't know the schedule.
So you're
of pitchers or
thinking
whatnot.
that Oakland's going to pull the first game off. It's a 3 out of 5 series.
I think Oakland will take the first game.
Yeah.
Trying to save Greinke and see if we can get him in there on Game 5 would be a long shot, but it's a safe shot to get at least 2 good pitching games from him.
We have we have a losing record against the A's. They kind of beat us up this year in the regular season, but the postseason is a different story. So players show up, stars show up. We'll see if the Astros, they got a lot to prove, Chris. If
Right.
they can,
Even in this odd COVID season, I think you're right. I think they have a lot to prove, and we'll see if the A's can muster up enough.
yeah,
And
hopefully not.
Let's just hope that the Astros are the
They
Astros
become the
bats are able
Astros.
to
They get
wake
they
up.
get it together. Well, that and the pitching and the young guys now they stepped up in the first game,
Well,
first
John,
and
this
second
is
game,
October.
first series.
We need Mr. October. You know who that
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah, Mr. Altuve.
No.
No.
Reggie Jackson, man.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know Mr. October. I
Mr.
know,
October is
yeah.
Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, but
for the
you're,
Astros,
Mr.
it's
October.
probably
I
Altuve,
know.
yeah.
I watched all those games, Reggie
Yeah,
Jackson.
I sure did. I.
You did too? Yeah.
Incredible.
I was a big
Definitely.
Reds fan anyway, but I knew Reggie. That was amazing. He hit 3 home runs back to back to back.
Back-to-back. That
In
was
the
awesome.
World Series? Yeah,
Series,
in the
yeah.
World Series. And he missed the 4th one? He didn't hit 4. Yeah, but he
I
got
don't-
3 in a row.
You were
So-
a whole lot older, John.
Yeah, I'm old.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see. This is definitely playoff season. We're in the environment right now. Everything is perfect. This is fall weather. This is baseball. This is where you want to
It is
be.
nice weather.
This is where the Astros want to be right now, John.
Yep, we're seeing some great Houston weather now. It's out of the 90s and
Right.
into the the
60s and
80s.
70s, John.
Well, yeah,
I
actually
think
the
this morning
50s
was
in
like
the morning.
66
Yeah,
this morning.
60.
Yeah,
The other
58,
morning it was like it was 56 degrees. I was hitting the courts early in the morning, 6 a.m. and at 5:30 it was 56 degrees. I was like 56. I still
All right, guys, we're going to come back after a little break, John, and
Yes.
very basically we'll go
talk
over some tennis
Yeah,
and do
And
a
basketball.
basketball with the Lakers all around, and then close it up.
no soccer
Guys,
news.
huh?
No soccer news.
Yes.
Oh,
No
okay.
soccer news.
All right.
Hey, guys, we'll be right back in a few minutes.
We work our whole lives to support our families. With one accident or illness, it can all be gone in an instant. Now there's a smart, affordable way to protect your family. Go to findhealthbenefits.com and discover low-cost life insurance for as little as $2 per month. Add to that a tax-deferred annuity that can help you protect your assets and grow your money for retirement. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. A critical illness can strike without warning and wipe out your life savings. In fact, it's the #1 reason for bankruptcy. Find Health Benefits offers an affordable solution. Get up to $50,000 if you get cancer, stroke, or a heart attack, giving you the peace of mind to focus on getting better while the plan helps you to pay your bills and medical expenses. Learn more. Go to findhealthbenefits.com or call 877-235-6094. 66% of seniors spend more time shopping for cable TV than Medicare plans. Most say because it's just too confusing. Laws change every year. The wrong plan could cost you thousands and prevent you from seeing the doctors you want. Introducing FindHealthBenefits.com. Save time, save money, see specialists without referrals. Go to FindHealthBenefits.com or call 877-235-6094 for this informative brochure.
Society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Global Sports Network on this great Friday. And now we're going to have a little bit of tennis news and basketball, John.
French Open and some basketball. That's right. The finals of the NBA. The Lakers are up, and it's going to be totally up to the Miami Heat. You know, they took a lot of injuries in the first the first game. I don't know if you know that.
No.
Now,
Wow.
So a lot of people were really hoping Miami, but yeah, they got banged up pretty bad in that first game. So really, and the Lakers took it to them. So
A
without
lot of
all
folks,
their,
John, a lot of folks are still going and putting their money on Jimmy Butler, John.
on Butler, and Butler got injured too, and he's not, if he's not 100%, that's their heart and soul right there. Butler,
Wow.
He's a
Wow.
man on the court. He's been the man through getting to the finals. So without him playing his best basketball with LeBron and Davis, I mean, it's going to be rough. But we were going to talk French Open first. I think you wanted to bring it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
French Open. Wawrinka, last year's champion, still in it. He had to take out Andy Murray in the first round, it's still you got Nadal chasing. Djokovic is the #1 seed. Even though really, like at Wimbledon,
Right.
they always, you might be ranked #1 in the world, but on grass, Federer would be, you won it 4 or 5 years in a row. If you're not #1, Nadal, they go, no, at this tournament, he's #1 because it's a grass. Well, on clay, I'm surprised, but the French don't do that. They just put it right in order. So Djokovic is the #1 player in the world. They put him #1 in the world, and they put Nadal is the 2 seed, which it really doesn't matter whether you're at the top or the bottom. You still, as long as you're seated like that. But actually, it's probably even doing no, because you got the #1 seed usually has the easier of the. So you go #1,
Easier
#2,
bracket.
#3, #4, #5, #6.
Gotcha.
So usually you're playing the better players if you're at the top.
Right.
So or at the bottom.
And, and that's one of the questions I always had, whether it's grass, whether it's, a Wimbledon type flooring, or whether it's clay. Does tennis make a distinction of the players that play and at the best on either flooring, and do they decide who's the best on that?
Yeah, no, they don't.
Necessarily,
Well,
John.
yeah, talking about grass or clay,
Clay
there's certain people, their strokes and their game style matches up better on clay than it does on hard courses, does on grass. Okay, grass is a real slick surface, so people that like the ball low, and really it has to do with the grip. So a lot of times people are using, they don't have that Western grip. Like Nadal has a hard time on grass, even though he did win it one year, which is good. And then Federer wound up winning the French, but Nadal had been eliminated by Robin Soderling, which I knew Robin Soderling for many years coming to River Oaks since he was like 15 years old. But anyhow, the grass, the ball staying low. Federer has a grip that's good, conducive for a ball that's, waist high or below. He likes to take that ball down there where Nadal takes the ball more in the shoulder height up higher. And then clay tends to bounce and then kick up on you, Chris. It doesn't bounce and stay low, and it slows down.
Right. It
So you-
retards the bounce.
You get a
It
better
retards
look
the ball.
at it. But also on clay, it might bounce a little left or a little right. And there's where Federer, I've said this for years, has even though he's not in the French Open, so we don't need to be talking to him. He took the year off to get ready for 2021, but he is coming back as far as we know. Now, Federer, who has that different grip and likes to hit the ball down there waist high or so compared to Nadal's shoulder high, it doesn't seem like a lot of distance, but that's a lot more time to look at the ball. You know what I mean? Just like a baseball.
Right.
That it's only a foot and a half maybe, but that's a big difference. That's the difference between a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and a 90-mile-an-hour fastball.
John, I want to interject something. Personal experience that, I was never a tennis player. I played all the hard sports, in school. And
The hard tennis isn't hard. Is that what you just said, Fernandez?
well, I mean hard, like hard hitting,
hard
like
hitting, hard on the
physically
body,
hard on the
bruised.
body, baseball, football, on track, some of the things that
There's no
are very
contact. That's what you're
strenuous.
saying.
No contact.
It's not like
correct.
boxing.
So then I had a little mini girlfriend,
Mhm.
after high school, and she liked playing tennis. She took me to tennis.
You had a girlfriend in high school? Okay,
Yes, I
I'm
had
go.
many.
Don't let me throw you
I know
off.
it's hard to believe.
Don't let me throw you off.
But yeah, went to our subdivision and she played tennis. Can you play? I said, sure, I'll play. I said anything, just to talk to her and be able to be around her. So she started serving, coach, and I wasn't able to catch up to any of her serves.
Really?
And of course, I was overweight.
Yeah.
But I was like, excuse me, can you slow down and hit it to me? And of course, that's not the name of the game.
You were a big guy back then.
Yes, I was.
Football player
I was
size.
big.
Yeah.
I was super big.
Right. So it was hard
So she
to
kept
move
hitting it
fast.
over there, and I was over here, and I would tell her, hit it to me.
Yeah.
So
But
it
also
didn't work
your
like
eye speed probably wasn't up to par.
Yeah.
You know?
And I do have to say it was at sundown. It was kind of dark. So that's the other thing.
Okay.
But eye speed, hand speed, very much like baseball. You got to have those two in tune, John,
Yeah.
or you're not going to hit the ball or hit it well.
Right.
Right.
Well, yeah, you got to be trained well. You got to learn how to take a shorter backswing to hit it. And
What
then,
do you coach when you're out there with like Tia and some of the other
Yeah.
girls?
What do
and
I
guys?
coach?
How do you teach the top hand and
Well,
eye coordination?
it's fundamentals, Chris. Everything comes down to fundamentals. And right now, just like the Texans, their fundamentals on the offensive line aren't there. They're missing blocks. That's fundamentals. On the tennis court, fundamentals, having the racket prepared, hitting through the ball, keeping things simple, concise. So that's what I teach. A lot of fundamentals, and a lot of coaches don't know fundamentals. I'll tell you a fundamental.
The
Like
basics,
here, this
basically.
would be a fundamental that somebody caught the other day with Deshaun Watson handing the ball off.
Right.
Fundamental is when you hand the ball off to somebody, what deceives you? If I'm the quarterback, and I quarterbacked a couple of years, and I hand the ball off, what's the deception here? Maybe I gave you the ball, maybe I
I
did.
didn't, right?
And that's what they're not doing.
Those
And
are a
then
lot of
he
the
stands there
follow-throughs.
like a statue and hands the ball off, and no, he's not fooling anybody. They talk
Well,
about a
John,
quarterback.
Like we talked the other day on the other show, John, and with Ben Roethlisberger, he's 38 years old. He's a big guy, 6'3", 240, something like that,
Yeah.
right? He's able to fake the reverse out to the fullback, keep the ball, roll
They
right,
got him running. They got
and he's running.
Yeah.
And here comes Merciless,
Oh boy.
and so the 38-year-old Roethlisberger does a straight arm to stop
The farm.
Merciless. That, my friends, was
Well,
embarrassing.
he's a big guy. People are giving him a hard time for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have grabbed his arm and
But
dragged
again,
him
we're
down.
going back to the experience at deception. Boomer Esiason was very good at hiding
Yeah.
the ball back in the 80s. And he was a left-handed quarterback. It's even better for the
And
left-handed
hide the
quarterbacks.
ball, right?
Right, you got to
Bootleg.
hide the ball.
You
You have
know?
to bootleg. By the way, the Vikings are going to do a lot of bootleg, John.
A lot of
I would be
bootleg.
very concerned on the bootleg because they're going to fake it and dump it to the tight end.
Right.
And that's where the tight end is going to score for
We'll
the
find out.
Vikings.
I'm actually getting excited here, and I can't wait to
Well,
see
the way I described the plays, John, it's like we're there already.
Football Friday. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
how bad the Texans can scheme
John, I'm
up
gonna
this
call.
one, or how good they can scheme.
I'm gonna
up.
call it
We'll see.
31-24, John. 31-24.
31-24.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 28-21. Yeah, does that sound familiar?
Yes. Sounds very familiar.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
28-21 Minnesota.
Cool.
All right.
And we're just gonna see if it's a closer game and they've played
Right.
as well as they possibly can, and there's chemistry
Right.
on offense and defense, and the offense is gonna be able to take care of the 43 defense coming up. You have 4 down and 3 back linebackers. I don't think the Texans will be able to handle it, but it'll be a whole lot easier. 4 of those guys coming right at you,
Right.
and you know where they're at, and you know where it's coming from, and 2 other guys are coming either from the end or a linebacker.
Right.
So they should be able to handle that, John.
So
on a
next
blitz.
week when we talk, Chris, the Lakers. Well, I know you picked the Lakers already up there,
Right.
up 1-0.
Yeah, we
Are
picked
it's
the
gonna
Lakers.
Be, they got to win 4 here, I think, in the finals, Chris. So I don't think it's
Yeah.
going to be over by next
No,
Friday.
it's not going to be over by then.
So
But John,
what do you think? It's going to be 3-0, or is it going to be
Just-
2-1?
just to note, right before COVID, right before anything, I picked, and I was telling Vince over here that I picked the Lakers and or 76ers, and of course the Lakers by Vegas picked the Lakers, and this is all before COVID, John. So if the Lakers win, then that's a lot of insight for a lot of the folks that picked the right winner.
Right.
So, and I didn't bet, and I don't bet, but a lot of the folks that did bet for the Lakers,
Right.
they are going to win big.
They're going to win.
I don't believe
Yeah.
that.
I think,
that
Chris, but going into the
Heat are
season, the
coming back.
Lakers.
I like the Heat,
They were
but-
a favored team to win it. The Lakers
Right,
and the Clippers were,
right.
and the Clippers were the only ones that disappointed. And they got some coaching changes now.
And Doc Rivers got
Doc,
fired.
yeah, and Doc's
yeah.
hired. Just went to
Yeah.
76ers,
got hired.
I think,
Okay, cool,
right?
cool.
Yeah. So,
Man, I think
and
that was a big mistake.
our old coach was supposed to get that job, or he was up for that job, so he's still out of the job.
Who?
The old Rocket coach.
Really?
Yeah.
So who do we have anybody for the Rockets yet?
No, we don't.
No, not yet.
We don't. We'll see. Hopefully next week we'll hear something. But you know,
Wow.
they might be. They're probably waiting for this to end because Cassell's I think is still
I hope it's
coaching
not.
right now
I hope,
for
I hope
LA.
it's not Van Gundy. I really
Yeah.
don't.
I haven't heard.
He
too
had
much
his
on
chance
it.
in the sun to prove to Houston that he could win, and
Right.
he wasn't able to do it, even with a 7-footer. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not able to win. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, you're going to need somebody that can scheme together and get along with Harden and Westbrook and make that work there. 'Cause that's,
And I know that you're probably going to say no, but I think the coach that we're going to have for the Rockets, I think he almost has to be like a cheerleader type, somebody who's happy to be there. And Sam Cassell is one of those guys that can uplift your spirit and make things a whole lot better, John, for the Rockets and the Rocket base
well,
fans.
I don't. Like I said, I don't think it's uplift spirit or anything. It has more to do with connection with James Harden because he's a team. If they don't trade him, I know there's rumors out there. I mean,
hope
who
they
knows?
do.
I can't see it. You're one that kind of advocates for that.
I'm
You think he's the
advocating getting
problem,
rid of everybody.
but-
Let's get somebody new.
and get somebody new. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, if you get somebody new, you probably should get 2 players for him.
Right,
Because he is one of the
should get 2
the
players.
best NBA
Maybe 3,
scorers
John.
of all time.
Maybe 3.
So you're going to give him up, right? If you want to do something
But
like
John,
that.
yeah, John, but look at it, man. I mean, and I'll say it again for those who haven't heard me. Going or being at a final or a championship is not the same thing as winning one, John.
Yeah.
And he's been at many of them, and Harden can't seem to close the door and put the foot down and say, hey,
Well,
this is my championship.
Give
And
him
it hasn't
somebody to
happened
give
yet.
him some help. I say add to it. Don't start all over. Don't do a
Well,
rebuild.
okay, let's just
unless
get
you have a master
maybe
plan.
Westbrook out of here, and let's get a 7-footer in here, guys.
Yeah.
That's the best way. You want to keep small ball? I say no. I say get a 7-foot center and make it happen.
Well, you ought to be able to play both. If you want to play a game, you ought to be able to play small ball, midcourt, attack the rim. Do it all. You got to win games different ways. I don't get this. Well, we do this or we do that.
Yeah,
we do what we got to do to win. And,
Right.
and
A 7-footer's not going to throw
sometimes
up
it
a 3,
changes
John.
in a game. They make an adjustment. We make an adjustment. I don't know. It's just simple to me. I mean, that's what you do on the tennis court. It's what you do in the boxing ring. It's what you do in a football game. That's what you do in a basketball game. And the silliness about, but the bad part is not have the ability or the teammates to go and switch to the different ball.
All
Now you're handicapping your team. So you need a coach that can do it all.
All right,
Whoever that
guys,
is.
I want to thank you for being here. Global Sports Network on the Edge. John,
Yep.
again, the Texans this weekend.
Good to see you. Texans are going down. I hope not, but going down. If they
gonna
do win, they better win the right way, Chris.
It's going to be a good game on the Viking side. I want to thank everybody for having us,
Yep.
and have a great weekend. Stay safe.
Yes.